It's a great privilege and honor to be here along with my colleagues from HSBC in New York, London, and Dubai to participate in this convention. In the next 12 to 15 minutes, I would present to you an outline on the global perspective of Islamic finance. The globality of Islamic finance, we will review very quickly their country framework and the growing reach of Islamic finance. We will then do a product review. And then I will walk you through the increasing reach and richness of Islamic finance. We will review some of the major challenges facing this growth industry. Today is spread across, especially the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Africa, with more than two-thirds of the Islamic finance industry concentrated in the Middle East, especially in the Gulf. There are today around 150 Islamic financial institutions spread across more than 54 countries. Between them, they manage more than $200 billion. This is clearly a growth industry, growing at 15% per annum. Labuan in Malaysia, Bahrain in the Gulf are the two major financial centers. Brunei is also establishing an international Islamic financial center. The growth of Islamic finance is linked to the growth of middle classes, to the spread of education. Wherever we find large, prosperous middle classes, you find Islamic finance is growing. To look at the Islamic finance and how it has grown in different countries, clearly this is an industry which is at different stages of evolution in different countries. Stage 1, you find countries like Singapore Monetary Agency, Hong Kong Monetary Authority, studying Islamic finance as a concept. Stage 2, you find new licenses being given or Islamic financial institutions being established. In Oman, a new Islamic banking license has just been given. In Syria, I am told there is a possibility of Islamic financial licenses, as is the case in Lebanon. But it is in stage 3 when the industry gets some critical mass. You have Brunei with 3 Islamic financial institutions, Turkey with a number of Islamic finance houses, Qatar with 2 Islamic financial institutions. But it is only when you get to stage 4, where there are the mutual funds, that you find that there is a whole Islamic financial markets. Malaysia clearly leads with its own Islamic debt securities, where the Malaysian ringgit market is a very active market. We hope that this will translate into the dollar sector and through Labuan as well. There is a growing realization amongst regulators, amongst countries, that you need strong banks, strong banking system based on indigenous values to build strong economies. And that is where Islamic finance fits into the picture. Mr. Chairman, at its heart, Islamic finance is a free enterprise movement. Dr. Siddiqui today talked about the importance of the private sector. It is the committed retail sector which went out and committed itself in the early 70s. And it is the retail sector which is today going to the large corporate sectors, pension funds, endowment funds, and encouraging them and urging them to invest their funds Islamically. So in Saudi Arabia, you see Saudi Aramco Pension Fund. In England, you see Prince of Wales Trust investing funds Islamically. You see major universities like Oxford University, Harvard University, investing some of their funds Islamically today. So non-banking Islamic financial institutions is the big growth market of the future. How can we build the credibility of Islamic finance in the domestic markets? This is already being done. Kuwait Finance House in Kuwait, Al Rajhi in Saudi Arabia, Dubai Islamic Bank, Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank. They're all building credibility in home markets by following important guidelines. They're supporting the domestic financial industry. They're reaching out to other communities. And Islam is an inclusive religion, as is Islamic finance. We find that some of the Chinese customers who approach Islamic banks in Malaysia, in Islamic banks in Brunei. In Egypt, we see Coptic Christians coming to Islamic financial institutions. Islam is, and Islamic finance is, an inclusive movement. Becoming role models for conventional financial institutions is quite important. Opening up new markets, educating the regulators, working with community organizations like ISNA in the United States, MCB in the United Kingdom, seeking the support of industry organizations. Dr. Malaika talked about the IOFI, the International Association of Islamic Banks, and the Islamic Development Bank. These are all very important institutions. bit about the Islamic financial instruments. In the 1970s, we had the murabahas, the trade finance. This is actually a reflection of the macroeconomic conditions in which the Islamic countries were in the 70s. As markets have started opening up in the 80s and the 90s, we have seen new instruments coming out. More sophisticated instruments are coming out, and today we see tradable instruments also coming out from various Islamic institutions. A quick look at the risk-return profile of some of the financing products, with Ijara being the highest risk, and the liquidity programs which are run on a tender basis, commodity murabahas being the lowest risk and the shortest tenure. Similarly, we can look